Okay, now hopefully that you've watched the video on how to form the imperfect tense, we can do a few more examples to get you a little bit more confident with this tense. If you think you could have a go at those 5 on your own on the back of watching the previous video, then feel free to pause this and come back to watch me work them out when you've had a go yourself. If you're still a little bit in the dark, then you might just want to follow this through. Okay, so number 1, I was dancing is clearly imperfect tense because it is referring to a block of time in the past. I was dancing for a considerable amount of time, as opposed to I danced, which is going to describe one completed action in the past and would be perfect tense. I was dancing puts the emphasis on the fact that a time period was involved, and there was an amount of time that I was dancing for. So we need the imperfect tense. Therefore, if we go back to our PowerPoint and we remind ourselves of the 3 stages to form the imperfect tense, is taking the new form of the present tense, removing the ONS, and adding the correct ending from those endings there. Okay, so let's put this into practice with our first job is to check whether our infinitive danser is an irregular verb in the present tense. So we need to have a look to see if danser is on there, and it goes from voir to devoir, so it's not. Therefore, to form the present tense we dance, danser is an ER verb. We need to take off the ER and add ONS. Okay, so let's do that now. So we dance, nous dansons is the present tense. Stage 2 is to remove the ONS and of course the we, and we want I was dancing, so let's put in the I, and now we need to check the ending for I in the imperfect tense. So danser is an ER verb. We go over to the imperfect tense, and AIS is our ending. So we'll put that on, and je dansais means I was dancing. For our next verb, they used to take, we use the infinitive prendre, which we can get from the learning mat, back of the foundation tier, or in a dictionary. Prendre means to take. They used to take, if we think of an example like they used to take the bus to get to school, that's referring to an event that occurred over and over and over in the past. Repeated actions in the past means it's the imperfect, and used to usually gives us the clue we're in the imperfect as well. So, first job is to find the new form of the present tense of prendre, so to find out how to say we take. And as always, we need to check whether it's irregular in the present tense, and this time we can see it is. Prendre is here on the right, and it shows us nous prenons. So that is our starting point. Nous prenons. I won't bother putting the nous in because we're only going to take it out in a minute. And then we go to stage 2, which is to take off the ONS. Now it's these examples that show us the reason why we go for the new form in the present tense. If we look at the infinitive again, prendre, if we just took the infinitive ending off the RE, we would leave a D there, and we don't want a D. So that is the reason we go for the new form of the present tense. Okay, we want they used to take, so we'll put the they in, and we need the they ending, which again we can get from the back of the learning mat, imperfect tense, RE verbs, and we go for they were. They were selling, that should say. There's an error there. There's a printing error there on that learning mat. I've never spotted that before. Ils vendaient means that they were selling, not they were living. Anyway, yeah, so Il vendait. A-I-E-N-T is the one we want. Okay, so A-I-E-N-T. Let's make sure we check that we've copied that correctly. Il prenait means they used to take. Okay. Now we want we could. Now that doesn't obviously look like the other imperfect tenses we've done so far. I was dancing, they used to take, because it hasn't got an ing, with a was or were, and it hasn't got a used to. But if we think of it in examples, I don't know, for example, when we were at primary school, we could play outside on the swings or something like that. Okay, we could play outside. We are talking about something there that happened over a period of time, repetitively in the past. Okay, so it's very similar to the used to in that example, and therefore the imperfect tense is needed. You could have examples where could translate into the perfect tense, but here we're going to have a go with the imperfect tense as the example of when we were younger we could play on the swings. Right, so we need to establish the verb, the infinitive, and it's a little bit difficult here because we don't say to could. We have to realize that the verb we are looking for is to be able in English, and the infinitive for that is pouvoir. Okay, to be able is the infinitive of could. Right, pouvoir is what you should find in the dictionary if you look up can, and that's our starting point. So let's see whether it's irregular, and it is in the present tense. So our we form is nous pouvons, and it's that pouvons that we're going to start with. Again, I'm leaving out the we, although actually we can put the we in this time because it's we could that we want. So we'll leave that we in. And then we take off the ONS, as always, and we check for the imperfect ending. Okay, so imperfect tense, IR verbs, let's say, doesn't really matter. And we've got for we've got I-O-N-S, okay, I-O-N-S. Remember, that I-double-S is in bold because it's reminding you that it's coming from the we form of nous finissons, okay, so don't get confused and stick an I-double-S in. I-O-N-S is our ending, and it's the same as the ER verbs and the RE verbs. So, in fact, we can and we could are very similar. There's only an I difference. Nous pouvions. Nous pouvions. She was smiling. We want to start with to smile, which, if we look it up in the dictionary, we will get sourire. Now, we need to check whether sourire is irregular in the present tense, and it's not. Okay, it's not there. So, we are going to make the we form, so we smile, take off the RE and put the ONS on. RE verb, let's remind ourselves, we compare it with we sell, vendre, and RE verb, nous vendons, ONS is our ending when we take off the RE. So this time we're going to take off the ONS, and we're left with sourit. It's she was smiling, so we need the she ending. So imperfect tense, AIT, AIT, okay, AIT is what we want. Elle souriait, she was smiling. And the last one, should know the infinitive to like, is aimer. Okay, we want we like, and we might know that already, but we're just going to check it's not irregular. It's not irregular. So we look at ER verbs and you just put an ONS on for the we form. Start off with the first stage. We like would be nous aimons. Okay, that's our starting point. Start at stage 1 on our list of things to do to form the imperfect tense. Stage 2 is remove the ONS, and stage 3 is put the ending on for I. Je will abbreviate to J apostrophe because of the vowel on aimer, and then we need to check the I ending in the imperfect tense, and that is AIS, as we had with I was dancing. So, j'aimais is I used to like. Okay, so 3 stages. Take the present tense in the we form, the nous form, take off the ONS, and add the endings for the imperfect tense, remembering that the only irregular verb is être, which has the stem E acute T. Okay, hopefully now you're feeling a little bit more confident to do some of those examples on your own.